world. This is Kimberly and Connor Tracy over here at Big Red SEO.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hopefully you're doing great on this Tuesday. So a couple things for you coming this way. We're going to do a little bit of intro. We are also going to do a little bit of talking about some updates within the internet marketing world, but then we're going to share a bag of tricks with you as well today. So bear with us. It's a little bit of a different structure, but we're super excited for what we have to come your direction. So before we start, Connor, do you have your coffee?
I have my coffee.
He has his coffee. He always feels better when he has his coffee.
I do.
Do you guys have your coffee? We
feel
have
like
coffee that's presented to us by Regis Management here because this is where we rent our offices. So if you're tuning in, TJ, Brad, Jan, any of the other cool peeps that take care of us here, thank you so much for doing what you do, right?
Yep.
We're actually in their fantastic conference space area. We have meetings, live client meetings here, project meetings here, unless we have it in our office. Sometimes we get a little greedy and we want people in our space.
Yeah, if it's a coding thing or an analytics or reporting thing, generally I do that in my office, but normal client meetings or prospect meetings, everything happens inside here.
Yeah, so if you wind up coming to visit us or if you have a meeting, whether it's website design, SEO, or just some consulting, mentoring, and coaching, you now know where you would come, right? Okay, so to dive in, I wanted to share a couple different things. As you guys know, we have different prospects that come to us, whether it's they're looking for an audit or they're looking for some feedback. And eventually they wind up signing on with us for a service. But believe it or not, we actually had one prospect come. I'm not going to share the industry, but it was fascinating because the bare bones was their website was very, very dated. I think it might have, it's not actually very old, but the way that it was coded, it was like in the early 90s to...
Yeah, it was definitely straight HTML. It was HTML images. It was late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. And so here's the deal is they had one central person that used to update the homepage of the website, right? And that person's getting ready to retire. And so they're going to the drawing board of, well, what do we do to replace this person? What do we do to move forward? And so forth. And their whole intention is to grow their community. Their whole intention is to grow followers, right? So with doing a basic audit for them, we actually noticed a couple red flags that happens a lot in businesses. So we wanted to share these with you. Number one, their website was very, very cluttered in the homepage. And when I say cluttered, I mean there was multiple different font colors and styles, and some were bolded and huge and others were small and tiny, and there was some links and then there were some images, and it was just kind of every which way but the right way, right?
And the backend code as a result was also...
Yeah, it was like a ball of Christmas lights, if that makes sense. So here's what happens, though. I have to give the person that manages that website kudos because they have no web design experience, but they were able to make something that was functional for a long, long time. They were able to go in and provide value that they thought that their members liked and enjoyed. So we don't want to squash somebody and the cool stuff that they do based on the skills that they have, right? There is a little bit of a better way to go about it, though. In addition to that, on their homepage specifically, and pretty much through their entire site, they didn't have any images of their facility and or the community that they take care of, or the fans and followers they have,
or themselves, or basically it had a logo, but it didn't have any team member, no profiles, no images of product that they're selling, no service counter or anything like that.
It was not in their core structure is they're building their community, right? So you got to go back to what is the main objective. And it's kind of fascinating. They did have two images in the site. And they were stock images, and it was in a brand new page that they had built, right? And as we're going through this audit, so our basic audit, we're on the phone, there's not really a lot of writing going back and forth and all that jazz. And we say, what is your Facebook? And they give us our Facebook. And whenever we loaded their Facebook, both you and me at the same time was like, that image on your cover photo image, that's it. Like put that in your website somewhere. So it was kind of interesting because their social media, they nailed they got it, right? Yeah. It was just a matter of crossing it over into the website, and they felt like it was two totally different things, which, yeah, they kind of are. But when it comes to branding, you can mesh and you can mold it all in, right?
Well, here's the other thing on there was that while they didn't have the images and they had all the different text and whatnot, I wouldn't say they were killing it on SEO, but they were doing pretty good on the SEO.
It's kind of one of those
because
by
it
accident.
was text.
Yeah.
So purely by accident, they were ranking for things that they didn't think they were ranking for, and that's always a good thing. They need more exposure, of course, but for what they were doing and the resources that they had to work with, they were actually doing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it was not really that bad. So the cool thing about it is we came in and we kind of gave them an estimate of here's what it would cost for us to do it. But by the way, bare bones, this is what you need to do, right? So you guys have followed us for quite some time here. If you're new, welcome, join us. We're really cool people.
Subscribe, ring bell, click, all the other things that everybody says
But
to
here's the deal is I think it always comes back to what is the intention of the website, right? So like you want, for the homepage specifically, you want the homepage to almost be like your map. And when I say map, I'm not like saying put all the different places in the mountains on the map, but you want to kind of like navigate people through. So it's kind of interesting. There's multiple different breeds of people right now. Some of them love going into the menu navigation. Others don't. They just skim down the homepage and they're like, tell me where I'm going. And they actually qualify you based on them just skimming and scrolling down the homepage, right? Mm-hmm. So like if you get into where you have a lot of pages and a lot of information, kudos to you. The search engines might actually love that, right? Depending on how quality the content is and what you're providing. It's still important to understand that you need to try and get your end users to the path the fastest and quickest they can. So example, this individual has tons of resources that they provide for their community, right? But it was tucked up underneath another thing, and then what happens is nobody is able to find it because it's tucked under so many sub menus, right? So we're like, throw that on the homepage, feature it, highlight it somehow, mainly because resources are really important for their community.
So essentially they had a weekly bulletin that would be posted onto the website, and it was a PDF.
That kind of shows you the date of when the site was created, guys. If you're in our world, the word bulletin.
Yeah, so they have that.
They kind of switched over to like newsletter or agenda, or I don't know what else they call it, but bulletin is definitely a dated terminology.
Anyway, they had this on their website, and that was fine. The problem was, as Kim said, you had to go under a resources tab, then you had to go under weekly announcements, and then you had the information. And unfortunately, then at that point, you had the last 52 weeks of announcements, when generally you'd only need the last one or the last couple. You know, you look at our website, we do these Facebook Lives every week, but you go to our homepage and we only have the most recent 5. Now there's a button to go read everything, and I encourage you to go read everything or listen to all the different articles we do.
Right.
But you don't need to list all of them on the page. And I see it even with e-commerce websites where you get to the homepage and they want to list 40 products on the page, but people don't need 40 choices right away. Yeah. They need a couple of choices and then go into other things. If you want to put 10 on there, no problem. Make sure it's 10 completely different things. So
on the homepage though, guys, decision fatigue is real deal. It's like it's there, right? And people, like, if you think about it, take a step back, people make decisions every single day in multiple areas of their life, not just in a service that they need to purchase for their business, but just in general all around, right? So your homepage is there. Yes, you can highlight every single thing that you do. Get so articulate and clean and clear. What is the main thing that you're attempting to do? What's the main section you're attempting to grow your business, and amplify from that point forward? Yes, you can add multiple different sections. We do as well. However, if you go to the homepage, I bet you can guarantee what service we're looking to grow. Right? And that's the important part.
And throughout the year, that could change. Yeah. So we're working with an e-commerce site, and they're selling clothing and things like that. Well, in the summertime, they want to have all their t-shirts and shirts featured. Yeah. And in the wintertime, they want all their jackets and raincoats featured. So picking the season, knowing your audience, and we do the same from our website. Depending on what area of our business we need to grow for that particular week or that particular month, then we change out what's on our homepage particularly our homepage.
Yeah, and other pages too. So just to bring it back with this specific audit that we did, we actually sketched out. So if you're on I don't like to use the word, but if you're on a budget that maybe is a little limited, we do have the ability to sketch stuff out if you want to build stuff yourself. That's actually the route we went with this prospect, if that makes sense, because they feel like they don't have a lot. So let's just throw them a couple bones and see what we can get for them. However, for you,
how can we help them?
Yeah, for you, like, I would just take a moment to review your site design, review your homepage, see, is it clean and clear? Is there clear areas on being able to communicate, right? Can people get a hold of you? Can they get into contact with you? Being a mentor and a coach for businesses, one of the first things that I do is make people put their phone number or put some form of contact somewhere so somebody can get a hold of them. It's very trendy to have contact forms. I get it. I understand it. It's there. However, if you want to close that energy circle, or if you want to onboard somebody quick and fast, the phone's pretty much the fastest way to convert someone. Now, I get, like, sometimes people have awkward conversations on the phone. What better way to bust through it? Like, that's how I bust this guy through. I'm like, hey, like, answer the phone. He's like, do I have to?
Answer the phone.
Yes, answer the phone. Answer the phone, answer the phone, answer the phone.
I'm not a phone guy. Give me an email.
You rock the phone, though. He says he's not a phone guy. We should record you on the phone. You rock the phone.
So I do well on the phone, but I don't do well on the phone from a sales aspect. I'm getting better.
He's so good at sales. He's like dimming himself down. He's actually really, really good at sales.
So and
on the phone. Like, he seals a deal. He made an intention, in January, that he was going to ask for the sale. That was your intention.
Yes.
And he has nailed it since.
I have been getting better at that. But from a core aspect of how I've operated over the last 20 years,
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, you were web hosting. You were back here like this. He was like hidden back behind his computer.
And we had a phone, but nobody ever called.
And that phone, guys, like, that phone was like one of those heavy, it's probably a basic phone. Like, I'm making it like such an antique thing. It was like a heavy thing. It was a heavy phone. Then it would go, bring, bring.
Back in my day, that's how they had phones, babe.
It was so loud and obnoxious in our old house. We were in a split level, and you could hear it in the middle of the night, bring, bring, until I told him to remove the ringer. But anyway, you had a phone, but you never answered it. Ever.
It depended on the situation. If we had servers offline and stuff like that, generally I would answer the phone. But if it's a normal sales, then it wasn't so much. But it depended on what was going on. You guys were so good
at, like, communicating via email, though. So
right. We had our live chat and we had our email. And so anyway, that's a different a different life, different business, different. I certainly wish that we actually faced an issue yesterday with a hosting company who I had an issue I needed some help with because I don't have access to logs they do.
Yeah.
And they went into the website, and the first thing they did was updated all plugins, updated WordPress, updated something else. I'm like, no, guys. You can't just go in and just hit update on things. They're at a version level for a reason. And the reason being that now the site builder doesn't work. It was
not a very glorious moment for that company, and it was a pretty large company, and so it just Connor got to bring down his wrath a little bit,
I did.
and then
I forwarded it along to a supervisor or manager.
Yeah. So luckily we were able to get the client taken care of. They're all good, right? It pays to know somebody in the pocket that knows the web hosting world, because you can tell them what action not to take next and how to back it all back up. But luckily we have a backup of that entire thing.
So anyway, so I digress just a little bit.
Casey's here. Brandon's here. Hello.
Kim is here.
Hello. I am here. I'm always here. I'm always here.
I am present.
Okay, so we had talked about offering them a bag of tricks to be able to help them grow their business.
Yeah.
Do you have a bag of tricks?
Here's the thing. Kim came to me about 20 minutes ago and said, here, make this image. So I made an image.
Yeah.
And then she said, all right, so for our Facebook Live, what are we doing? No idea. I said, so what do you want to call it? She goes, bag of tricks.
So here's the deal, guys. So there's multiple different things in all different areas that we help multiple businesses with, right? One question I got asked this week twice, guys. So this is the reason why I'm bringing it to you. Was, does my company need SEO? So here's the deal. In the SEO world, You may not even realize it. Hopefully you have realized it because we are here. But if not, no big deal. We'll like it even the same. In most cases, you're using SEO every single day. A lot of times people just don't realize, or it just, the click doesn't happen to realize that they're using it, right? So when you type in a search term into Google, that is an aspect of SEO. Where we come in is we help businesses get ranked for specific key terms. Here's the key hint. Specific key terms, they get traction and volume. So our team, we're not worried about getting you an online presence that dominates everybody. Yes, that is super fun to do and watch happen. However, if there's not traffic and there's not volume, what is the point of actually doing the thing, right?
It could be reward. So I assimilate, or here we go, story time, here we go, guys. Buckle down, we're off for a ride. So if you treat SEO like lawn care.
Oh God.
Okay, so
we've had drunken SEO.
We have had drunken SEO.
We've had whiskey and shots SEO, and now we're gonna have lawn care SEO.
Lawn care SEO.
Okay,
so
go.
Well, and it's a very short version of it, but essentially, does everybody need lawn care services from a company? No, they don't. If you can do it all yourself, you have the time to do it, you want to go out and manicure it and take care of the weeds, do the fertilization and mow and water and everything else, then of course, do that. You don't need SEO. You don't need a company to do SEO for you. You're going to do it all yourself.
Yeah.
If you're lazy, I hire somebody else to do my yard for me.
But he does not hire somebody else to do his SEO. I just need to do a disclaimer there.
Yes, I do not hire
we do our own
else.
SEO.
Yeah.
So really quickly, just to step back, that was a really good analogy.
But I got one more piece.
Oh God.
And now I can't remember it.
Can you guys see me sweating over here? I'm like, I have no idea what this guy is going to talk about.
So sometimes it's
I just know the condition of our lawn.
Right, and our lawn, and that's kind of the big thing out of it all, is that I wanted our yard to be better than our neighbors.
Yeah,
so
he does have that thing.
There's an ego thing.
And he's had, our neighbors have cried.
And SEO is, at times, we see the same thing from an SEO. You know, when we pull apart keywords and we're looking at different things we're going after, there's always an ego company they want to beat. There's always an ego phrase they want to rank for.
It's true.
And it's not that that's good or bad. If it's getting traction and it's getting traffic, then rank for it all day long. Right. But if it's not, then it's purely ego.
So here's the deal. Go all the way back to the question, because you good job on the rant. You kind of went on a rant.
I'm back.
So the original question was, does every company need SEO? So here's the deal.
Go ahead, you talk now.
So here's the deal, is when it comes to marketing, there is multiple different ways that you can go around marketing. In most cases, we opt for all companies to have SEO, and here's the reason why. One, it's typically the easiest marketing to do because one, you're talking about your business, you're stepping forward, it's your industry, you know it better than anybody else. You might need a ghostwriter to help you articulate what you're trying to say. But the other part of it with SEO too is whatever time and investment that you put in, it doesn't go away.
Right.
So like Google AdWords, we absolutely love it. You need help with it, send us a message, we can help you. But Google AdWords, it's a pay to play. Like you pay for clicks, you get leads, and then hopefully you can convert them, right? When you stop paying for the clicks, those leads stop and everything goes away. Same thing with social media. Social media can get you leads. You have to be very, very clear on what you're attempting to do. There's a lot of companies out there right now that are selling management services that are all over the place and not representing businesses very well. So you do need to be very clear on what you're doing there.
And monitor it.
But here's the deal is once you stop the social media stops. When you apply time in growing your online presence through search engine optimization, it doesn't stop. The only thing that happens is, say that you're in an industry and you're gangbusters. Like we have one client that like when you look at pen to paper, it's a super competitive industry. You would not, we were blown away. Actually, there's two clients right now, completely blown away at how thick the competition is in these industries. We applied SEO. We applied SEO services, right? We did our gig, and then they just blew it through the roof because none of the other companies were paying attention to SEO.
They are all doing AdWords.
They're spending all their money to one weight, right? Which is not necessarily a bad thing. We're excited for our client, right? Or clients. But the thing is that with SEO, you're already doing it. So why not amplify it and do it further? Right? Like that's the thing.
And using a combination. I mean, we were looking at like the Google Home Services, which is basically when companies go into a house. So we're talking anything from plumbers and roof repair companies or carpet cleaners, anything like that. So basically there's a spot on the listings for that, on the search engine results. There's a spot for that, a spot for the AdWords, a spot for the map, a spot for the ranking in the map, A, B, and C, and then you've got an organic listing on top of that. If you can dominate all of those, you're getting 5 shots at a client. I mean, that's awesome. Now, you can do all that from the organic end of things. You don't need the Google services and you don't need the ads. And you'll rank in 3 different spots.
Right.
That's not too bad either.
But here's the deal is depending on the industry though, right? Like he's like, yes, every single company needs SEO. I don't agree with that, right? So like there's one specific industry, and here's where I'll say it. There's one specific industry that's more emergency services, right? It just is what it is. Like, I'll just throw it out there. We've done SEO for 3 of the companies so far. It's locksmiths. We've been able to rank them. We've been able to get them SEO processes. We've been able to get their money back. They've been able to invest and get money. However, the habit is when you lock yourself out of the car, out of the home, hopefully you have your cell phone on you. Guess what the first thing is that you do? You're in emergency. You're triggered in an emergency. You don't know what the next step is. So brain-wise, you just click the very first damn thing. And we've tested it. They click the first thing. They don't care who the company is.
Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter the price.
It's one of those industries that's so unique in the behavior, right? And there's other industries out there, but we had to go back to them and be like, look, stats, we're getting you everything. You're getting leads based on us, but guess what? It's a higher percentage for you to do the AdWords, so throw all the weight to the AdWords, and then you get more calls. And I be damn, it worked,
now,
right?
They continue to do, we taught them the SEO end of things, that they can continue to do it themselves. But
it's like the maintenance,
really
right?
The focus.
It's like a maintenance type of thing. Every single company can benefit from SEO, but here's the deal: not every single company needs to be on a monthly retainer for SEO. Right. So like that's the other thing too. Like if you're a seasonal business, when you're in the thick of your season, you actually were meant to start SEO 4 months ago. By the time you hit the thick of your season, you can actually take your foot off the gas. And there might be a little bit of up and down, up and down, and up and down. But if you do it correctly and you are very intentional in how you're doing it, you won't lose the momentum of that season.
And lawn care is a good example again on that. So it is seasonal. Your SEO stuff, we're now in May. Your SEO should be almost ending at this point. And if you do have gaps in your schedule to be able to do some more work for clients, that's where you kick in the AdWords just to top it off.
And here's the deal though. So if you guys are in it and you're in an industry, you're like, oh shit, they told me I did it wrong. Like, don't take it that way, right? And if you're in it, start now. Like there's different things. Like our blog has tons of resources out there on how you can get started. Reach out to us if you need help with consulting. Like we can teach you, we can train you. But like at the end of the day, I don't believe every single business needs SEO. Would we love to be able to grow their online presence? Absolutely. There's multiple different ways that we can go about that. However, I don't want to be that, put everything in one bucket and say everybody needs it, because there might be another priority. Like the majority of your clients might be actually on social media. Maybe you need to throw the weight to that area, slowly grow your online presence through SEO or your website, right? You just need to make sure they're all uniform across the board. Make sense? Yeah. Cool. I think I just tapped this guy out. He's like, I'm done.
It's running this way. I got like, what is it? It's 11:30 right now almost. So I've got about another 4 hours.
So
in my brain.
here's another thing. Okay, really quickly, mixed bag of tricks. One area that people in businesses opt to not take action on and we're one of them, so we're going to call ourselves out on it and step it up.
Kim's going to call herself out.
Is actually getting in front of your current existing prospects, fans, clients with a newsletter. So here's the deal. Newsletters can be super, super, super complicated. We actually recommend that you keep them super simple. And I mean, we've not done very many newsletters, but whenever we did newsletters, I think it was like we hit like $9,000 in sales based on a newsletter we sent out.
I can honestly say that the number of newsletters we sent out, I can count on this hand.
I think we could count on these fingers.
Yeah, I think like about there.
And the whole time we've been in business, these fingers.
What, 8,
it's
9
almost
years?
like a piece, but like with a... Yeah. So anyway, okay, so here's the thing about newsletters. There is multiple different softwares out there that you can utilize. There's free ones, paid ones, whatever type of jams. We always recommend pen to paper first to start. So even when we start with a website design, we do pen to paper. What is it that we're attempting to do? What is the different area? Actually, I don't know if she's watching or not, but I actually helped one of my coaching clients this week to be able to do this. What is this section? What is it going to look like? How is the information going to be laid out? What are we putting inside this stuff?
And what is the goal?
Yeah, so the thing is the intention and the goal, right? But here's the deal. When you're starting to put a newsletter together in a template, focus less on what specific images, if you're putting images, and what specific text, if you're putting text. And instead, guys, like pen to paper boxes, right? This is like really generic, but pen to paper boxes, pen to paper box stuff out, right? And then build the basic template of the newsletter. Then come back and then put all the stuff in. So you can actually build the boxes. So like, here's the deal.
Or just buy one of the templates.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Buying one of the templates, caveat, we did that once.
Don't add everything in there.
No, we did it once and we couldn't figure out the coding part because the developer locked it down pretty hardcore. But here's the deal is to start, if you want it to be super simple, the templates that they offer are pretty nice templates and you can change colors and different stuff. So we recommend start with the template that they've got and then pick one of those and then brand it based on your company, your colors, your feels, your looks, your images and so forth. But create boxes first. Yes, ask the intention. What is the intention of the newsletter? Is it to get engagement? Is it to sell a promotion? Is it to just be, touch, and feel your people? That's a good intention.
Is it to brag?
Is it to brag? Is it to maybe ask questions? Maybe is it to see if one person wants an event or not an event? There's multiple different things. But the template of your newsletter can actually be built and then you can copy that template. So say you have 4 different newsletters you're going to be sending out, all different styles. The template can be copied and then you just go through and finesse with images of content and information. And the thing is you can always remove stuff and you can always add stuff, right? So like, with the client that I was with last week, I was like, man, like it would be really cool if you had a little blurb at the bottom that was about you so people could resonate. Who are you as the person, right? You own this business, you do amazing stuff, but what is one memory that you can share or one tidbit of information to share that other people wouldn't know, right? Because then all of a sudden they become to know that person and that individual. Does that make sense? But with newsletters, keep it super simple. And if you're selling a product, right? What is that one product that you wish that you could just hammer out and sell and not have an issue? Make sense?
So for next week, Kim is going to have a newsletter done. So if you have not already signed up, please go to our website.
You'll have to put the thing down on the bottom.
BigRedSEO.com.
Challenge accepted, y'all.
It's at the bottom right-hand side of the page. And there's a section down there for sign up for the newsletter.
Oh, really?
Go ahead and do. Yes, there is one.
Oh, this is so exciting.
For the other things, because we're running up on time here at this point.
Oh, I got talking too much.
I know.
Okay.
So, Big Red SEO, of course, we're on Facebook, which is where you guys are watching us live right now. Twitter.com/BigRedSEO, and also on YouTube.com/BigRedSEO. So on YouTube, we have all of our videos, all of the weekly videos, and some of our blog article video interactions.
Here's the deal, y'all. If you have found benefit of this specific episode, please like and or comment or put a question down below so we can gather information for future stuff. There's 2 cameras. In addition to that, we will be back next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So we will continue the mixed bag of tricks, but we actually have a whole nother thing to talk about. So we hope you tune in. In the meantime, have an amazing week. Go step forward and serve. And if you need help with your web design or SEO, we're here. Kim and Connor. See you later. Bye.
All right, guys. Have a great day now.